6 months. I lost so many, though they say we've won, and I'm on my way to you. Just one more time that I must cross those lines and I am home. Home. And the daylight turns into the night. You're all I'm thinking of. You're always all I'm thinking of. When the daylight turns into the night, I will be home. It was like a dream. I close my eyes and now it's here. Just one more day until we're free. I'm on my way to you. Just one more time that I must cross those lines and I am home. And the daylight turns into the night. You're all I'm thinking of. You're always all I'm thinking of. When the daylight turns into the night, I will be. Then the shots rang out across that desert sand. I will be. Just one more time, yeah, to cross those lines, but now he's gone. Gone. And the daylight turns into night. One more day, and he was on a plane on his way to you.
And there you have it, folks. Let me just say this. I gotta say, I know that this is a lot to listen to. When you're looking for a little entertainment, looking for a little political news, looking for a little bit of, the normal stuff that we do here behind enemy lines. But we gotta do this. We have to remember we're the generation that's gonna end up forgetting. I'm putting it out there right now. I truly believe that if we don't do shows like this, if we don't remember the fight that Andrew Marr and Chase Rowan are doing with Warrior Angels Foundation, if we don't listen to Tony Bianco's Emmy-nominated rendition of Just a Common Soldier, if we don't listen to John Preston's moving song Day to Night, and understand what our men and women in armed services are going through, what they have gone through for generations, I'm sorry, then we're not worthy of what they do in life. You know what? Time to take a quick break. We're going to get back to a regular show right after a few brief words here. Gene Baradelli behind enemy lines. Thanks for listening to that first part of the show. We'll be back with a little bit more normal stuff right after these brief words. If you're a long-time listener of the show, or maybe this is your first time listening, you can probably tell that me and the gang here, we like to have our share of fun, whether it's on or off the air. We talk about 2-drink minimum radio and no medication Wednesdays or whatever day it may be. That's why when we found the people at Less Government, More Fun, we knew it was a match made in heaven with this show. Folks, we live in a time where government is out of hand. Our founding fathers did not intend government to be all-consuming in all parts of our lives. That's why we are telling you to go to lessgovmorefun.com. Check out the website, check out the swag. What the people want is less government, more fun. Pass it on, make it happen.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Behind Enemy Lines Radio is all about being right. No, seriously, it is. If you ever listen to Russ Gallo or me go back and forth on some issue, we always want to make sure that we remember who said what and when we said it. That's why we go to goonrecord.com. It's a brand new social media website. Challenge people on what they believe, whether it's in politics, sports, entertainment, finance, whatever. There's a category for you at goonrecord.com. Check it out right now. Tell us, what do you stand for? It's time for you to go on record. Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air. Gene Baradelli, back behind Enemy Lines. Again, I want to thank Tony Lo Bianco for his moving tribute of Just a Common Soldier that is now Emmy nominated. I couldn't believe it when I got that news before Memorial Day weekend. Congratulations to Tony and the entire people, everybody who put that together. Also want to thank John Preston for his beautiful rendition of Day to Night. Check it out on iTunes. Check him out on YouTube as well. And of course, Andrew Marr and Chase Rowan from the Warrior Angels Foundation. Look up what's going on there, folks. They're doing some exciting stuff. Actually, maybe trying to turn the tide on veteran suicides and traumatic brain injury and PTSD. Check them out at www.waftbi.org. With the time we got left in the show, let's talk a little bit of news. Let's talk about a little bit of views. Let's get back into a normal way of living, because ultimately, the best way to pay tribute with Memorial Day is to go on and continue to live our lives. So, just want to touch on a couple of quick hits here in the news. The first one being, my goodness, Katie Couric, what did you do? What did you do with your Under the Gun documentary that, by the way, there's one thing that we got to talk about. Let's get into the news of it first. Deceptive editing found in Katie Couric's documentary that is anti-Second Amendment, pro-gun control. In a scene when they are talking to some citizens who are pro-gun control, they ask a question about licensing criminals and terrorists and how to prevent them from getting guns. And then they put in 9 seconds of silence. Let's just measure that out right now. So she asked the question, and then you hear this. And you see people looking at each other. And there's no answer coming. Now, what do you take that to mean, folks? You take that to mean that, we're just meant to take a pregnant pause for a moment to understand the question? Or you take that to mean that they're trying to make these people look like idiots? Trying to make them look like fools? Trying to make them look like they don't have an answer? Trying to make them look bad, when in actuality, they had a response, they had an answer. And luckily for them, they also had a tape recorder with them, because they thought maybe something like this would happen. Now, here's a lesson for everybody out there. Never trust a reporter. Don't trust me as a pundit, prognosticator, whatever you think I am. Don't trust anyone who is looking for your opinion on politics. Make sure that you control what you say and that you have a record of what you say. These people were very smart to create a recording And when the documentary came out and they saw that they put him in a negative light, in a false light, boom, it came out, and good for them. Now, I've seen different people talking in the media about this. Obviously, the New York Times not really saying much about it, saying that, allegedly there's this recording that exists, and allegedly they said this, when allegedly this was, inappropriately edited, and allegedly the New York Times is an alleged newspaper. But, you know what? Let's span the news and let's see, people kind of protecting Katie Couric on this. They're saying she wasn't the editor. No, she wasn't. But she is the executive producer of the documentary. And here's the problem with documentaries these days, folks. The Michael Moores of the world, and now Katie Couric, you throw her in there as well, they have tainted the definition of documentary. The point of a documentary is to investigate facts and circumstances and then lead to a conclusion. That's not what's happening these days. You are starting out with your conclusion, with your premise, and then you are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy to get to your premise without thinking that you may not intellectually get there to begin with. So what do you do to get to the premise when it's not there? You creatively edit. You deceptively edit. You take people's words, you mute them, you use B-roll. That's a little media term there, guys. B-roll is the stuff that you film when nobody's really talking, there's no action going on. So when you're doing when you see someone's talking over a scene, that's the B-roll. You're seeing this alternate footage of what actually happened. You're hearing alternate audio than what happened. You are being filtered through the lens of someone else. And that someone else has an agenda. Listen, I got an agenda here on this show. I promote conservative values. I promote conservative thinking. I definitely denigrate the left. I mean, you hear it here all the time. That's what we do here, but we're upfront about it. If you want to listen, you can choose to listen, you can choose not to. It's not like I'm hitting the edit button and stopping someone from saying their views. But Katie Couric did that. She may not have done it directly, but she did it as the executive producer in putting this out there. What does this say for her judgment in reporting news? What does this say about her credibility? In this world of new media, someone like a James O'Keefe has to show his raw footage, has to show his work in order to be seen as quote-unquote credible. James O'Keefe is never thought to be credible because they think that he's always doing something wrong. And yet Katie Couric, given the benefit of the doubt, and we're supposed to trust when she creates a documentary that has a certain point of view, that she's reporting facts and being neutral, and this is educational, and your children should watch it, and they should know that guns are bad because Katie Couric says so. It's not how this works, folks. It's not how any of this works. Katie Couric has a credibility problem right now. It's going to be hard for her to solve, and especially hard to solve when you're doubling down and backing your editor. Now listen, I could say that maybe Katie Couric didn't know how it was going to be edited. But once you saw it, you got to say something. It's a bunch of you-know-what that comes out of the rear end of a male cow. As someone said in the chat room right now. Speaking of which, we have a chat room going live during our live shows Tuesdays on Spreaker at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to join us anytime in that chat room during our live show. I'll be glad to borrow, sometimes without attribution, some of the things that you say in the chat room, and we appreciate you doing so. And speaking of which, check us out at www.BehindEnemyLinesRadio.us. If you want the chat room, you click on the Listen Live button. But also remember, we're available on the Facebooks and the Twitters at BEL_radio. And if you missed any part of this broadcast live here on Spreaker, you can check us out on any one of our rebroadcast outlets, including WJHC 107.5 FM on the Florida Georgia